following is my own opinion and not the opinion of any studios I have worked for in the past or will work for in the future. All specific information comes courtesy of publicly accessible articles. Please see the bibliography in the info section of this video. Much to my horror, the most viewed, liked, commented on, and shared video I have ever made is a Cinema Cemetery episode entitled "You Don't Want to Work in VFX." Now, I stand by everything I said in the episode, but I've been concerned for a while that people may be taking it for more than what it is, a list of negatives assembled in a singular streaming onslaught to the senses. Not a nuanced picture, but in all fairness, my disclaimer on the video did state this pretty clearly. Despite this, here are some of the comments on the video that concern me. I'm going to be reading them in the voice of Jason Statham. You're welcome.
I'm so worried about my future now. I followed my dream, and now, sad face.
I agree, reality can be concerning, but would you rather follow your dream off a cliff with or without a parachute of knowledge and preparation strapped to your back beforehand?
Wow, there go my dreams.
All it took to kill your dreams is an overview of the obstacles facing you. If it really is your dream to work in VFX, you're going to have to work very hard, both to get in and to stay in. Let's face it, all dreams take hard work.
This video just devastated me. 5 years of learning thrown away.
What? Why? No, nothing has been thrown away. Consider the information presented in the video as part of your education. Be a part of the solution to the problems I mentioned. It's natural to be concerned and disturbed by the state of the VFX industry, but don't let your 5-year journey end because a YouTube video told you you're in for a tough time.
Don't like it? Quit.
No. And the comments go on and on. Some are super insightful, and some, as you've seen, miss the point entirely. Now, I totally encourage everyone to read through some of the longer comment threads on the original video, as they bring up some great points and include everyone from industry professionals to hobbyists to students not sure in which direction they're going. Generally, it's pretty great stuff. I'm proud of the discussion the community is having on that video. All that said, it's time to bring balance to the force. I want to take the time to talk about why I love working on movies. When was that pivotal moment when you said to yourself, yeah, I want to make movies? For some, it's a slow process getting there, and for others, it is a switch thrown. In my case, I was 12 years old. It was my birthday, and I had gotten the old beat-up family camcorder as a gift. It was a bit of a lightning moment for me. From then on, I was making terrible movies constantly, and I haven't stopped since. It's who I am, who I've always been. Professionally, I work as a matte painter on big-budget, wide-release films while making personal shorts on my own time at home, running this YouTube channel, and writing feature-length screenplays. It's a lot of work, a bit like working 4 full-time jobs. But one day, I want to start my own studio. I want to make my own movies. That's not just gonna happen out of nowhere, so I have to work crazy hard to try and make it happen. But what do I love about working in VFX and filmmaking in general? What keeps me going? What is just so addictive about the process that I can't stop, no matter how stressful or crazy it gets? Part of that answer is, for me, it's therapy. I have trouble calming my mind. It's constantly filling with story ideas, characters, funny gags, spooky moments, one-liners, and tear-jerking resolutions. So much so that some days I fear it's going to blow up like a balloon and pop. Making a short film for me, or working on something creative, is a bit like releasing some air from a dangerously overfilled balloon. A lot of artists talk about the stories they want to tell, but they never tell them. I can't control my career as much as I would like to, but I can at least control my own work ethic. I can tell my stories and try to make each new one better than the last. I can't compare them to the works of others, or I'll spiral into depression. I'm not them, I'm only me. I just have to do my best and selectively ignore my inner critic. So, if I wasn't making films and I wasn't telling stories, I wouldn't be expressing myself. And if I wasn't able to express myself in this way, then I wouldn't be me. Essentially, I make movies because I must. I enjoy this process because I enjoy existing, some days more than others. But what about my paying job working in VFX and animation? I'm not really a storyteller there, I'm not making many creative choices, I'm not even really expressing myself that much. How does that fit in? Well, I see it this way. At my job, I'm paid to hone skills that I'll need to be better at making my own films and telling my own stories. Essentially, it's a paid education. I'm a hard worker, not because I'm married to a company or a film I'm working on. I'm a hard worker because the more I learn and grow professionally, the better I'll become at what I really want to do, which is make my own movies. This is why I can put up with a lot of the problems affecting the VFX and animation industries. It's not my home. It's an important stage in my journey, and I have to focus on both enjoying it and learning from it, rather than allowing the industry to become my master and my purpose. On a related note, this reminds me of yet another addictive quality to filmmaking at every level. Mastery is impossible. There is always room for growing, learning, expanding, and experimenting. It doesn't matter how long you've been in the field, you will frequently encounter unexpected problems to solve. The worst people I've ever worked with in the industry are the ones who've decided that they've learned everything they need to know. This kind of thinking is not only pure laziness and ego, but it also means that someone's going to have to clean up the mess they leave behind when the shot they're working on doesn't go as planned. For some people, the idea of a never-ending education and a life of daily problem-solving might not sound too appealing, but for people like me, and potentially you, it's one of the major addictive factors involved. I live for this stuff. Something else I love about the filmmaking process is seeing shots progress from rough storyboard or layout through the pipeline to the final render. It is so ridiculously satisfying to see the transformation along the way, and then to go see the final movie on the big screen. It feels a bit like a funeral in a way. Like, you're glad they died because they stressed you out, but you're also really proud of them. The end of a movie is always bittersweet. I love reading and watching reviews of movies I've worked on. Terrible reviews for a movie that was real trouble to work on from the very first day are so cathartic to read. Inversely, positive reviews for a movie that was fun to work on are an absolute joy to read. On top of all of that, the majority of the artists, leads, and coordinators I've worked with have been delightful people. The saving grace of the VFX and animation industries are 100% the people you will work with. I found most of my closest friends at studios, and it has been such a blessing to be able to work with them. Speaking of people, enough of my yammering, let's hear from creatives way more experienced than I as to why they love filmmaking. No terrible Jason Statham impersonations for this portion, sorry. I have often thought that it was very arrogant to suppose you could make a film for anybody but yourself. Peter Greenaway. We don't make movies to make money. We make money to make more movies. Walt Disney. When I looked at life through the camera, I felt like I could finally see it. Catherine Howe. For me, filmmaking combines everything. That's the reason I've made cinema my life's work. In films, painting, and literature, theater and music come together, but a film is still a film. I hate television. I hate it as much as peanuts, but I can't stop eating peanuts. Orson Welles. Sometimes you're exhausted, and working on a film just seems like too much. When that hits me, I need to inspire myself, so I'll watch movies about making movies to get myself going again. In no particular order, here are some of my favorite movies about making movies. Ed Wood. The Muppet Movie. Why Don't You Play in Hell? Super 8. Son of Rambo. One Cut of the Dead. And Singin' in the Rain. What do you love about making movies or working in VFX? What keeps you going when you face difficulties when working towards your dreams? What movies about making movies are your favorite? Keep the conversation going in the comments. Liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing are all ways you can really help us out. It's certainly appreciated. This has been Cinema Cemetery, digging 6 feet deeper into film and culture. Hey, thanks for watching that video. If you liked what you saw, give us a like. If you didn't, don't.
Hi, I'm Josh Evans.